Every so often, people go to crazy heights to be on the best side of luck, and a few of them do get lucky. Just when we thought we'd seen it all, these incidents shocked us to our core. Take a seat, grab a drink, and watch these 10 terrifying close calls that were caught on camera. When you sit on a train, do you like looking out the window and watching the world yonder as the train speeds away? We've got something just for you, but you'll have to wait for it. It's our number 1. So, let's not rush. Let's start with number 10. Don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe, and click the notification bell for more amazing content. Let's begin. Number 10. Drop it off. Remember the days when adults used to advise the young to be wary of what they pick up from the floor, and would be so threatening, indicating that some of those things might be harmful and kill them? This was very close to the truth. Let's start with a sports match in the Iranian city called Isfahan. The match looked a little tense as the referee started to sort out an issue with a particular throw-in. The players then started to close in on them for the final call. As the midfielder approached, he stumbled across a small object he thought would injure a fellow player. As he dropped it, boom! Turns out it was a homemade grenade. Had he held it for a few seconds, he could have lost his whole arm. To date, it's still unknown why a homemade grenade was in the pitch in the first place. It was a close call for the players and officials. Number 9. Sliced. So this man from Riyadh in Saudi Arabia likes walking a few miles after a hard day at work. Maybe it's his time to exercise. Maybe it's his time to decongest. He follows the same route, and on this particular day, things did not go the usual way, as he was almost sliced in 2 equal halves. As he was walking on a narrow path along the road, a stray piece of glass fell and missed his head by only a few inches. Perchance, had this glass collided with his head, he would have been landed at the hospital for at least a week. Number 8. Skate crash. Pro skaters like to show off their mad skills and ride on anything, from skyscrapers to narrow pavements, and post it all on the internet, especially on YouTube, to brag to the world how cool they are and get those views and comments. No matter what you do, whether you're an amateur or a pro, don't try your stunts anywhere near the road. You might not get as lucky as Cody Davis, a professional skateboarder who tried the same unfortunate feat on this day, which you guessed right, was caught on camera. Davis was out with his pals to make a video for the fans showing his extreme stunts. When he jumped on the skates, he landed on the road as a car was speeding by. By sheer luck, only his skateboard was smashed by the vehicle, missing his legs by mere split seconds. Number 7. Dangerous slam. Demolition works always have their fair share of risks. Most of the risks squarely befall the workers themselves, since they're on site and are around heavy boulders, steel, and perhaps trees. In this video from October 4th, 2018, a worker is busy felling a tree on Adelaide Avenue in the afternoon. Everything seems to be going okay, and the machine is working as it should. Unfortunately, he'd forgotten to put a road sign for oncoming vehicles and pedestrians. A few moments later, his ignorance led to a dire consequence. When the tree finally fell, a cyclist was passing by, and the tree plummeted to the ground, nearly breaking the cyclist's head. Were it not for quick thinking that made the cyclist duck a bit as he approached the scene, the story would have been totally fatal, as he would be fighting for his life in the critical wing of the hospital. Boy, was he lucky. Number 6. Train. Apart from the regular crime incidences, surveillance cameras have been able to capture all sorts of close calls with death. These incidences would have been captured by anecdotes and reserved stories which would not be as vivid. Many people would not even believe them. In this video, we see a brave or otherwise very stupid teenager. Full of adrenaline, he decides to cross the rail tracks a few meters away from an oncoming train. Seconds after he pulls off his daring stunt, this happened. Just see how dangerously close he came from being crushed by the train. We're pretty sure he'd not done his calculations right. For sure, this would have been the last stunt he'd ever do. Luckily, his mother's prayers were with him that day, and he was able to escape death by a whisker. Road prank. This is yet another shocking piece of footage found on a surveillance camera. It'll totally blow your mind and make you think twice when you think you want to play games on a crosswalk. This happened in April of 2018 in Poland, and 2 besties were walking on the road one mid-afternoon. Who knows what they were talking about when suddenly one of the friends shoved the other so hard they fell on the street. This was just as a bus speeded by. For a second there, it felt as if the friend's head had been crushed by the tyre of the bus. It's moments later after the bus sped off that the friend who shoved her realised how careless she'd been and hugged her friend. Number 4. Bicycle encounter. We all try to take extra care when crossing the road, right? Even with a zebra crossing. This bicycle man was lucky and only managed to escape death by a stroke of luck. After making sure to look left and right and only cross the road when it was clear, he felt it was safe to cross. But as he moved to the other side, two vehicles, a truck and a red car, collided in front of him. Both vehicles came at him, and it's unbelievable how he got out of this unscathed. Despite the collision that made the man the centre of it all, he only got a broken arm. For sure, he'll never forget this story. Number 3. Fast legs. This dashcam footage from Vietnam in 2018 shows the driver heading towards a U-turn as a trailer suddenly loses control a few meters away from him. You can see closely how the vehicle flew over the road divider before smashing into several cars and trees. Quite lucky for this driver, who was aiming to park at the specific spot of the trailer crash. The look of the person with the dashcam was not the shocker. Did you see the mother who held her child closely, made a speedy dash for her life? That was pure adrenaline. You wouldn't really get how close this call was until you pay close attention to the woman and child. First, she escaped single-handedly the upshot from the truck, missing her by seconds. And second, she managed to outrun the violent blow from the displaced car behind her. Let's pause for a second and look at the best pick. This one stands out in history since its magnitude simulated impact. What is fascinating, though, is the immediate step taken to amend it. Analyze that. Number 2. Mega hole. What's the worst thing that can happen to you on the road? Would it be getting smashed by another vehicle? Or maybe it would be a helicopter falling from above and smashing you instead? Or would it be being caught up in a violent protest? Those are part of it, but have you ever imagined that a road that you're driving on would collapse right under you? You probably haven't. This was also new for these Japanese road users who were driving along the Fukuoka Highway when suddenly a massive hole 98 feet wide and 50 feet deep swallowed 5 different lanes on a major road. Although the road had been in bad shape for some time, people still used it. Luckily, nobody died as the shifting and swallowing stopped. What's more spectacular was how the Japanese contractor took only a week to repair and reconstruct the road. Number 1. Lucky girl. Going by the name Sarah, she was taking a train ride on an unnamed track in the Dambala Matali in Sri Lanka. On this specific day, October the 5th, 2016, she decided to film herself as she leaned outside the carriage. This daredevil attempt to get a cool pic nearly saw her get smashed by a pile of rock. As we watch the clip, it's clear how excited Sarah was, until the branches started to get too close and she had to dodge them. Then, a massive rock dodged across her head. Too close. She luckily escaped unhurt. On the next day, she posted the video saying, "I'm one happy girl to be alive." How about you like, comment and subscribe? We promise you amazing luck for the next 50 years. You can't take our word for it. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, please let me know by clicking the like button. Do share, write a comment, and don't forget to subscribe so that you can catch up my next video.